So me personally, I have thoracic spine issues. So that's my middle back. Due to having a long curved spine, aka I have a minor hunchback. My posture is pretty good right now, but for years and years and years, I've walked around at about this level of hunch. Um, and I also have a herniated disc in my neck. So I've gone through the ringer. I've pretty much tried everything there is for pain relief. I know this video is not high production quality. I'm not a YouTuber, but I hope you'll stick with me because I do think the information will be valuable to you. So what I want to talk about is the products that I've used that have given me the most relief for my back pain. So just in front of me, I have a few of the myriad of items that you'll collect as a chronic sufferer. And I just kind of want to go through some that work and some that don't. And so just getting right into it, these yoga balls that you sit on, for me, I've never liked these. They really never helped me. And so I'm just showing these to you for example that I have some things that I don't recommend everyone has. So let's just talk about what I use in my day-to-day. So the first thing I really, really, really recommend is a good TENS unit. If you go on Amazon, if you get one in the $40 to $60 range, you're probably better off. Get one with really high reviews. These can make a world of difference for acute pain, especially, I can't say if you're a person that has nerve damage or, I don't know, like tingling or burning sensations, these would help you. But if you're somebody that has muscle fatigue, you wake up in the morning and you're sore and you're tired and you feel it as knots, like the spot right there, invest in one of these. The pads aren't that expensive. Get a lot of pads so that you're not afraid, you're not reusing old ones. Have somebody put it on for you if you can't reach, and just let this run on your back. This is a great way to relieve acute fatigue. It's not a long-term solution. It's not going to make your back stronger or feel better in the long run, but I highly recommend this over, say, pain pills or anything that you would do to relieve chronic pain. If you are taking pain medicine, obviously Tylenol will leave, Advil will be recommended. Your best bet is probably Advil, depending on the nature of your pain. If your pain is inflammation related, like muscles spasming, like mine is, Advil is what you want, or ibuprofen, because it's an anti-inflammatory. Whereas something like Tylenol is more of it blocks the pain receptors. So if you have a pain that's kind of, I don't know, maybe just more related to something really, really broken deep in your body, like you have a rod in your back and it's irritated, I would imagine maybe that type of pain is better with Tylenol, but I'm not sure. So I would say play with them and figure out which one works for you, and don't mix them. Don't take Tylenol and Advil at the same time. There's a lot of information about how to take pain medicine properly. I would really strongly recommend you don't go the route of pain medication first. If you can avoid, for example, getting obviously opioids or prescription painkillers, that's your best bet. So try to treat that as a last resort. Now, every back pain sufferer is going to have something you lay on. So a foam roller is a good example of that. They also make a hoop that's like a foam roller with more pressure. You can lay on a lacrosse ball. But what I really, really recommend over all of these is a cork yoga block. So it has to be cork. You can get these on the internet for like 10, 15 bucks. And cork, it's really hard. And so the idea is these have two purposes. One, restorative. You can lay on this on the floor, just in the center of your back or supporting your lower back, and you can just relax. You feel good. Unlike something like a lacrosse ball, which is just going to hurt no matter how you lay on it. But if you're like me and you really just want to get in there, into a knot, into a really tough place, you can lay with your back against the corner. Just put this on the floor and really dig your back muscles into it. And these corners will just get in there so hard. They get in there better than anything I've ever used. I obviously have this hook. I have other things. I have lacrosse balls. Because of the corners on this, nothing really gets in there as well. So I highly, highly recommend this. I wish I would have discovered this 10 years ago. So in terms of pain relief so far, Advil, TENS unit, and cork block are my go-tos. That's pain relief. What about improving your back health? Not being in as much pain. How can you be proactive? So I have a couple more recommendations here. My first recommendation is a standing desk. So this is literally life-changing for me. You can get a good one for $250 to $300 at the time of recording. And I thought you get a variable one so you can stand a little, sit a little. But now I stand exclusively. So some things about the standing desk. One, I really recommend getting an anti-fatigue mat or shoes with insoles because I've had some plantar fasciitis just from standing so much in bare feet. Don't be like me and stand in bare feet. When it comes to a standing desk, get an ergonomic keyboard. You'd really be surprised how things like keyboard and your mouse position really affect your overall posture and hence your back, neck pain, disc issues. And then I also have a curved monitor. Now, obviously, this isn't for everyone. I am a software developer, so I have to be on this, for hours and hours. But having a curved monitor at the right height allows me to look left and right and without having to put my head up and down, which aggravates my neck. You really want to be cautious of any repetitive stress injuries due to the ergonomics of your desk. And by far, the standing desk is the number one investment I've made. Now, lastly, I want to talk about stretching and exercise. So stretching and exercise are also two requisites for back pain. If you're not exercising regularly and stretching regularly, you're missing out on probably the two best things you can be doing. But I understand that it's not for everybody. So how do you stretch for back pain? A lot of us will, come down at night and maybe we'll do a stretching routine for 4 minutes and then we'll be like, oh, this is boring. I have stuff to do. So what I strongly recommend you do is stretch while you watch TV and stretch in postures that you can hold for a long time. So if you've ever taken a yoga class, just throw a mat or a pillow on the floor and sit in a pigeon pose for 5 minutes. Even if your back muscles are painful, stretching things like your hamstrings, your psoas muscle, your groin, getting in these positions while you're watching TV, get in a frog pose, get in a child's pose, stretch your hamstrings, just sit on the floor and try to touch your toes and hold these and breathe for 20, 45 minutes a night will do wonders for your pain, even if you're not stretching your back. So at night I will lay on my yoga block and I'll lay on the block, I'll rub my back out, and then I'll stretch my hamstrings. And I do this every night, and it makes a huge difference. Lastly, I just want to mention regular exercise. If you can do any type of exercise that gets your body rotating and moving, that's great. So something like sitting on a stationary bike isn't going to have the same benefit on your back as doing something like a kickboxing class. But obviously we all have different limitations, different interests, different injuries. But anything that gets you moving, I've found helps a lot. So for example, if you're on a Peloton, if you do the intervals and arms classes, which will have you, or the hills classes, which will have you standing on the bike, they might have you get up and use weights, light weights. That's really great. If you're into combat sports like me, just doing kickboxing, which causes you to move your legs, extend your arms, that helps a lot. And if you're just doing traditional lifting, traditional, cardio, I would just strongly recommend strengthening your abs, trying to strengthen hamstrings and these types of supporting muscle groups. So I would really also recommend lightweight training for anybody, even women, doing light barbell exercises that make your hamstrings stronger, doing ab exercises, not just sitting on a bike, but anything that's going to make your muscle group stronger is going to reinforce how you feel. It's going to get blood into them, which is the most important thing for muscle pain. And it's going to complement your stretching really well. So as you exercise, you'll become more limber. As you stretch, you'll feel better exercising. So if you can get into any routine, beyond just walking, but hey, if you're walking, good for you. But anything that really puts your body under a little bit of tension, that is awesome. And the best way to start that is to go to physical therapy. So if you have back and neck pain, you can get a referral for physical therapy. That's a great place to start and start to learn some of the exercises and strengthening exercises that'll make you feel better. And then from there, you can sort of build into a stretching and exercise plan. So I hope that's helped. Remember, you're not alone. It can feel like you're alone when you're suffering from back pain, but you're not. Back pain also can be debilitating. It could feel like it's the end of your life. You know, I've had mornings where I literally couldn't get out of bed because my neck was so jacked up that I thought I wasn't, going to be a functional member of society ever again. Those are flare ups. They are very normal. Don't let it get in your head. You know, just every day you address it. You don't know what it's going to be when you wake up. It could be a bad day, it could be a good day, but just keep chipping away at it. You'll feel better. You're not alone, and good luck. So I know this isn't a high quality YouTube video. Maybe in the future I'll make better ones. If you have any feedback or anything in detail you'd like me to cover, any questions, just leave them and I will address them. So thank you and good luck.